It's straw-coloured, and the great thing about these oval pitches, they have a nice even bounce about them. So I think all in all, the batsmen will like it, and the bowlers will have to work hard, but they'll always find a little bit of pace and bounce in it. But it's a cracking pitch for a test match, this deciding one.
Geoffrey Boycott with his ideas on the pitch, and there should be a bit of bounce there for the four pace bowlers in the West Indies side. There might be some swing there for them also. We're joining it now with the second ball of the first over. Curtly Ambrose as the bowler. The England skipper Michael Atherton is taking strike.
That's a painful start to the morning for Mike Atherton. That cut back in from Curtly Ambrose's second delivery of the morning. It's not often you see the England captain sink to his knees like that. Just in round about the midriff. Well, that's low, right in front. There must have been an inside edge off the bat onto the pad. Maybe just outside the line. So the first decision for umpire Virinchuparam Ramaswamy, more easily known as VK. First run of the morning to Michael Atherton. The captain and England off the mark. David Shepherd, VK Ramaswamy's partner for this match. Kenny Benjamin, the fielder at mid-on, doesn't look entirely happy.
I think he hurt his shoulder a little bit when he started to throw.
Well, a slice of luck there. Atherton gets 4 for it, but beaten by the look of it by just that little bit of extra pace. Just seems slightly late on the shot.
Well, it just nipped back on him, and I don't think it bounced too much, actually. I don't think it bounced too much at all. He left a big gap, and it was a Chinese cut that he got away with.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Several balls have come back already into the right-hander. This one just carrying on with the original line. Got him. Well taken at first slip. Courtney Brown dived right across in front of first slip there, making it just that bit harder for Carl Hooper. But Jason Gallin is out.
Well, I can't tell you how good a catch that was by Carl Hooper. You think it goes straight in, but watch the wicketkeeper, as David says. Oh dear, to hold on to that. What a good catch.
This was a typical Curtly Ambrose delivery, just outside the off stump, just a hint of movement away from the right-hander. But Carl Hooper did ever so well. Once the keeper starts to go for a ball like that, the man at slip always has the impression of this object flying across in front of him. And it really does distract you. So Carl Hooper, full credit to him. It would have been a straightforward catch without the dive in front of him. As soon as that dive came, that just added to the degree of difficulty. So England 9 for 1, and John Crawley at the crease. He won't be facing that wicket coming from the final ball of Curtly Ambrose's second over. Oh, brilliant. Looked brilliant for a moment. It looked for all the world for the moment as though Richie Richardson had dived away to his left at leg gully. There's only one thing wrong, the ball eluded him. Three men in the slips for West Indies this morning. Carl Hooper, Stuart Williams, the opening bat, and Shivnarine Chandrapal at third slip, playing in his second test match of the series. And John Crawley off the mark, past Richard Richardson at that backward short leg position. A capacity house expected at the Oval for all these first 4 days of this final Test match. Just the odd seat yet to be filled. Once again, Courtney Walsh, an inch or so away from 300 Test wickets.
Well, I like that line. It makes John Crawley play. It's a little bit wide, actually, but I think he plays at that a little bit because Walsh has done him twice, padding up.
Just for a moment there, Atherton was stretching. Lara made the mistake of taking his eye off the ball. Just there. Atherton was suddenly just a little fearful about the pick-up and instant throw. Oval has been able to come up with something on the outskirts, not actually inside the ground, but it all looks very nice. Tender loving care, and that's appropriate for the drought.
Just a little bit more pace here, but the movement is just as exact for Kenny Benjamin, and Mike Atherton drawn into the stroke, but just outside off stump, just outside the edge.
Been some excellent bowling and some good tough batting as well. Not quite a matter of survival, but it's along those lines. Haven't been all that many brilliant strokes played.
Top-class bowling. Crawley enjoys that shot, plays it very well. Alan Wells is the man who comes in at number 6, is pretending to read.
Well, even that's not going to go. I'll tell you how difficult it's going to be to hit boundaries on this ground with what I might loosely term the corrugations. Lovely stroke, and right off the meat of the bat. Normal run of affairs, I'm sure that would have gone to the boundary. Just watch it jump here. I think the ground staff have done the best they can, but the drought has got them. No ball call from umpire David Shepherd. Up comes the 50. Good firm stroke for the half century for England. 1 wicket down, that of Jason Gallion. Ian Bishop is... well, Ian Bishop actually wasn't watching where his foot was landing. Be a physical impossibility to do so. The only man who is watching it is umpire David Shepherd. Now we can give you a little look at Ian Bishop. This was the no ball call by umpire David Shepherd. It then produced remonstrations from Ian Bishop. And it was a no ball because no part of his foot is behind the line. He was pointing out to umpire Shepherd where his foot landed. As I pointed out myself, he had actually no idea because he's looking down the pitch at the spot where he wants the ball to land. Umpire David Shepherd wasted about 6 or 7 seconds on it.
nicely steered. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Just let the ball come on. I sense a little bit of frustration for the West Indies fast bowlers. The ball's not moving very much. Just maybe slightly left the batsman, but it was nicely steered off the back foot.
That's a cracker. No great amount of foot movement, but there was plenty off the bat. Caught. That's well bowled. Benjamin has been at these two batsmen all the time. He's kept the ball swinging, moving away off the seam, and that one had a bit of lift about it as well. Atherton has gone for 36. Stuart Williams was the fielder at slip. He's looked to have a very safe pair of hands, and that was neatly taken.
Well, it was well bowled because he's persevered outside off stump. He's not been afraid to keep the ball up and keep it there. It's not done very much, that. It just bounced a touch on Michael Atherton. Just a very fraction left him off the seam, but it bounced, that's the key. You only need it to move a touch if it goes at pace and bounces a bit. Graham Thorpe is the new batsman. I think Michael Atherton will be a bit disappointed because I think he was just beginning to fancy himself there, that he got in.
Now, Ian Bishop about to start a new over. Well, Crawley's got away with that, but it was an unconvincing stroke. He got 4 runs for it.
Yes, Ian Bishop bowling too short.
That's the landmark here at the Oval, the Gus holder. Goes right down on Sundays when Sunday lunch is being prepared. That was quite extraordinary. When we show you the replay, just see how the ball swung after it got past the batsman. Gave Courtney Brown no chance. That's a good shot. It's as authentic a drive as we've seen all morning here at the Oval.
Well, if there's anybody that should know how to play on this oval pitch, it's Graham Thorpe. He plays for Surrey. He's used to this sort of pitch with a nice pace and bounce. Lovely footwork onto the front foot very quickly.
Fine shot from Graham Thorpe. Alan Wells padded up there waiting for his first innings in Test match cricket. A man who seems to have been waiting for a long time for this chance. I dare say he'll be awake enough by the time his turn comes. It's the thing about facing West Indies fast bowlers, they do tend to wake you up. Seeing that underarm throw of Kenny Benjamin's from wide long leg there, he was a little bit worried about a throw he made first thing this morning. Seemed to do something to his shoulder in the process.
I'm sure after bowling so many balls in this Test series, 6 Test series is a very, very long time to be bowling, and it's not finished yet.
Brian Lara on his way off the field. Keith Atherton tags his way onto the field. That's a lovely shot from Graham Thorpe. Very simple in its execution. It's the longest boundary straight on what is a very big ground here at the Oval. Nothing extravagant about the shot, just pure timing.
We're now having some problems with the ball. The umpires are now going to talk again.
Yes, it's a well-known tactic to try and keep casting suspicion on the ball. They do lose shape at times. You find that not every cricket ball, of course, is perfect or necessarily that long-lasting. That's lobbing over. That's clearing the gully. Just a little bit of good fortune for John Crawley. Takes England onto the 100 mark. 100 exactly for 2 wickets.
There's not much shine on that ball, umpire David Shepherd is looking at. It looks as though the stitching has disintegrated a little. You can have some pitches where the stitching will disintegrate a lot. All in readiness now. Here's Ambrose. And a shot. He's looking pretty good today, Graham Thorpe. Been sitting at the back of the box watching him. He's been playing straight all the way through that arc between mid-on, mid-off all the time.
Again, if anything here, the timing is perfect. Not very much wrong with the pitch of the ball or the amount of bunks that Ambrose got, but Graham Thorpe's timing is so spot on today.
That's well bowled, quicker ball, and it almost did Thorpe for pace. Might not have hit leg stump, but it was a good delivery. 50 stand up for Thorpe and Crawley. Good performance. It's been a tough, fiercely contested match so far, the first day of this 6th Cornhill Test.
This time a full toss.
Crawley might well be hurt there. Not sure if he got any bat on it at all. It was pitched up. So this is the ball slanted in, swinging more, and the back heel, the right heel, and that will be painful.
Fine shot and a fine stop. Showing Campbell the man of cover.
Somewhat overpitched, didn't bounce much, and Sherwin Campbell showing why he's become one of the better fieldsmen in this West Indies team.
Very easy way to take 4 runs. Just let the pace of the bowler and the pace of the ball do the work. Graham Thorpe in complete control of the shot. Great shot, great shot. John Crawley doesn't use his feet that often to come down the pitch like that. That was a great example of how to get to the pitch of the ball and place it away through the onside for 4.
Perfectly played. The timing is absolutely spot on. 2 small pieces of movement by the feet and bat coming down the right arc. Perfect timing. 4 runs.
Fine shot. Very firmly pushed. Straight down the ground. Nothing wrong with that at all. And 4 runs takes John Crawley to 50. That's a third Test match 50 for John Crawley.
Got him. First ball is faced after tee. A half volley in this over. Hooper has given the ball more air than he did in the pre-tee session, and now there's the breakthrough.
Well, the lollipop bowler has struck. Carl Hooper throwing it up, and John Crawley's made a real bad error. He played so well, 50 not out. We'll have gone in at tee thinking the opportunity on this very good pitch to make 100, and he spooned it just a little too early, straight at cover. Nice, neat, low catch, but you'd expect to catch those. That really is a big disappointment, because that's just purely an error on the batsman.
Graham Hick, the new batsman, taking John Crawley's place. Big breakthrough there for the West Indies. Just what they needed to get them going in this final session. Half century for Graham Thorpe, and a very important one too. Beautifully bowled. That is not just skillful bowling from the physical point of view, but good brain work as well. And the jags back at Graham Hick often poses him a problem.
You see, that was a marvellous shot, was that? I mean, a very short backlift, little punch shot. He knows this pitch so well, being a Surrey player.
Kenny Benjamin, and Thorpe's taking strike. Mark that down as close to the shot of the day, even if it wasn't the ball of the day.
Well, he's so comfortable with the faster bowlers. He was a little bit careful when Hooper was bowling. As soon as he gets the seam up, he's after them.
He's thought of as being vulnerable against the short-pitched bowling. He gets plenty of that.
Well, this is a cracking delivery. It's right over the top of middle stump, fast, short. At least made the batsman get out of the way, do something.
And he gets away. Nice stroke, just a little bit more backlift. And Bishop giving Hick some width for the first time. Well, it's been one of the fun spots of the summer. The sun has brought out all the funny hats. And that was straight, a good shout. And that's the sort of bustling style of Benjamin, which really worries the England batsman.
Well, Hick here was playing back, and that was very much closer to him than I think he should have been forward here. Probably missing leg stump. I think that was just about the perfect length, and he was on the back foot.
Super shot.
Again, the width given here, and Graham Hick would quickly dispatch this type of bowling. This is bad bowling. You have to bowl consistently in one length, on one line, if you're going to be able to control the batsman.
It's a joy to watch. Really good shot. He plays those punchy little drives, Graham Thorpe. Just leaned on it. No flourish.
And he's proven himself to be a very fine player at this level. But to be numbered amongst the greats, then a few more hundreds wouldn't go amiss. And I'm sure he's well aware of the capabilities of batting on this pitch. That's past Graham Thorpe, he's edged it. That's the end of that dream. Just a tiny, thin little edge through to the keeper. And Curtly Ambrose has the wicket of Graham Thorpe for the 7th time in Test matches. And what was shaping as a very fine innings remains a good innings that's over now for 74 for Graham Thorpe. Very standard, typical right arm over delivery to the left-hander. Thorpe's left a lot of those very well through the day. And the reason he'll be so disappointed is, you know, he could have done it again. He's judged the ball particularly well through most of the innings. But this Oval crowd giving a very good reception now to Alan Wells. The Sussex captain playing now in his first Test match, after what seems to have been a long, long wait. Often touted, now he's made it. With England 192 for 4. And one ball's enough. Curtly Ambrose strikes, 2 in 2. What a disappointment for Alan Wells, what a disappointment for England. The short leg was posted.
I think he's still not with what's happened. It's happened, and he's perhaps a little bit lost right now. Ambrose bowling exactly the right line, just short of a good length, coming into the mid-riff. As good an attacking ball as you could find for a batsman playing his first Test match and facing his first ball.
I'm sure Michael Atherton will be full of sympathy for his new man. He's bided his time to get his man into the side. And so Curtly Ambrose finds himself on a hat-trick with Jack Russell out there now. 3 slips, a gully, 2 short legs. So 2 wickets in the over for Curtly Ambrose. A warm round of applause for his efforts. And his figures transformed. 3 for 51 now. And 20 overs bowled. That's flashed past slip. That was an impossible chance. Not controlled at all. The top edge. No chance at all for Stuart Williams.
It's a good stroke. Nice footwork. .200 up for England, 203 for 5, and 25 to Graham Hick. Well, it's safe, the shouts have catch it. But it's finished up as 4 runs.
Well, and so it should do too. Carl Hooper bowling off spinners with 5 on the offside and only 4 on the leg side where the ball is spinning to. Is a really poor field placing. I mean, it's just money for old Rope then to play the ball with the spin onto the onside.
Quite a justified shout. There's certainly no intention to play a stroke there. Bit more of that old rope Geoffrey Boycott was talking about. Umpire Ramaswamy is signalling that the new ball will be taken. It won't be given to Ambrose. Oh, I think I'd have been inclined to give him one. He's loose. Looked as though he was firing on 12 cylinders. They've given it to Ian Bishop, who's fresh and may also be firing on 12. Well, he drew Hick into the stroke there with a good away swinger. And Hick got 4 for it. 1 millisecond. Bishop would have thought he had a chance there.
Too short. He's just been too short most of the day as Bishop. It's not as quick as a normal oval pitch. I keep saying that. See, that's just banged in. It's got width as well. They're easy balls to hit and put away very nicely.
7 more added to take the score along to 233 for 5 at the close of play. A good performance there from Graham Thorpe. I thought he played quite beautifully today. Timing and footwork magnificent. Crawley batted well for his 50, Atherton for his 36, and Hick on 43 and Russell 9 have the opportunity on the second day to put things right for England. It's a nice even contest at the moment. Bowling figures for the West Indies. Ambrose 3 for 52. I thought he bowled really well today. He's come back refreshed. It was just what he needed, a bit of a break. Benjamin bowled well, 1 for 46, and Hooper 1 for 34. Did a good job there, just resting the pace bowler, 16 overs and 7 maidens for him. Partnerships, well, there were 3 quite good ones there. 89, Crawley and Thorpe. 51, Atherton and Crawley. And Thorpe and Hick put on 43. And still there, Hick and Russell 41. That's a good effort, and that was precisely what England needed. Well, I thought it was a magnificent day. It wasn't one of your slather and whack days, 300 for 2 at the close, but thoroughly interesting all the time, exciting for most of the day. And here's Geoffrey Boycott now with his ideas on the whole thing.
Well, a lovely flat batting pitch was only really taken full advantage of by John Crawley and Graham Thorpe. Graham Thorpe, to me, always looks good, is good, and will get better for English cricket. He played splendidly today. Economy of movement and his forcing shots were exquisite. John Crawley, very pleased with him. This was his best innings in England. I thought he played the quick bowlers as well as he's ever played them. His judgment of what to play and what to leave was good, and I thought he played the bouncers superbly, watching it all the time. For West Indies, well, just when England thought they got them down, they hadn't. In came Ambrose. I thought this was his best spell of the series. At times, he's not quite looked his best. He's looked a little bit tired, a little bit of a problem with his shoulder injury. His ball's not quite been coming out of his hand. But today, he seemed to revel in it, seemed to enjoy himself, seemed to smile a lot, and he really got stuck into England. And I thought he came back with those 2 wickets at the end of the day, just gave West Indies the edge on a very interesting cricket day. England will be a bit disappointed to have lost 5 wickets on such a flat batting pitch.
Certainly a very good day, and we're looking forward very much to the second day when everything might unfold in that opening session. Today, magnificent. Tomorrow we'll be on air. BBC Warnhill Test Match, the final one in the series. A wonderful day yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Lovely and fluctuating, as indeed has been the whole series. This is the way it began this morning. 233 for 5, 36 to Atherton, 50 to Crawley, who played well under pressure. Thorpe, I thought, a great innings for 74, and Hick unbeaten on 43 with Jack Russell. 21 extras in the 233, and the bowling figures for the West Indies, I thought they were much too short all the way through. Ambrose 3 for 52, Walsh none for 37, Benjamin 1 for 46, Bishop no wicket for 53, and Hooper 1 for 34. Well, yesterday there was plenty of bounce in this pitch. Here with his report now on the second day is Geoffrey Boycott.
Second morning, a bit overcast and breezy, but still very pleasant. We look at this pitch, it's still very dry. It's like a fourth or fifth day normal oval pitch. You've got one or two little cracks here, look. You'll get the odd low ball from these. One or two stud marks, the fast bowler went around the wicket. A couple of stud marks here. Because there's so little to see, you can see any stud marks at all. You can see this side, the spinner might be able to bowl into these when the West Indian left-handers are batting. But all in all, you've got to say this is a very flat, good batting pitch, and any bowler that gets wickets really does have to bend his back here.
And that'll be very good news for Graham Hick and Jack Russell, who were the men going out to the centre. The big surprise for me at the start was that Curtly Ambrose wasn't used. It was Courtney Walsh and Ian Bishop. I thought Ambrose would have been into the attack straight away. At any rate, we join it with the first ball of the fifth over. 8 runs have been added. It is Courtney Walsh bowling, and Graham Hick is taking strike.
Beautiful shot, perfectly timed, well executed. First time that Courtney Walsh was over pitch this morning, Graham Hick was immediately onto it. Just about half volley length, and the bounce was perfect. Timing, no chance, 4 runs.
It was full meat of the bat. Now Hick's on 49. And now he's on 50. And that's a really good innings. State of the game yesterday when he came in, that's top class. A bit of courage has gone into that after what yesterday was a very ordinary beginning. Good slower ball, but neatly dealt with by Jack Russell. That's a good stroke. .250 up for 5. I'd have thought the tactics this morning are self-defeating for West Indies. We're 11 overs into the second new ball. Start of the second morning. Big opportunity for the West Indies bowlers to get through.
Good shots. Just helped away by Jack Russell. And those gentlemen in total agreement with the umpire. That's a great shot. Beautifully placed. Courtney Walsh has strayed too often this morning.
Well, if anything, Courtney Walsh here is either bowling too short or too well up, and that was very badly directed, just about middle and leg. Batsmen love those. There's no way you should be out LBW playing that, and it's more or less a free hit through mid-wicket.
It's in the air and wide of Brian Lara at square leg. He's going to get 4 more for it. Almost deceived by the slower ball from Courtney Walsh. Although he was just a fraction early on the shot, he managed to get the ball directly between Sherwin Campbell at short leg and then Brian Lara at backward square leg. Oh, bad feel that's the West Indies captain in trouble. It'll only cost him 2. Trevor McDonald there, a great fan of cricket and West Indies cricket in particular. Keen student of the game. He's read all the books, watched a lot of cricket in his time. Might just have taken a glove on the way down. Signalled as 4 runs. It didn't carry anyway to Courtney Brown.
Well, there were shouts of catch it to this. I think Courtney Brown would have been miraculous had he taken that. It was in front of him on the leg side. Very difficult, not counted as a chance.
I'm as puzzled as most people must be that the best 2 bowlers for West Indies, Ambrose and Kenny Benjamin, can't get hold of the newest ball. 2 bowlers who've not been successful, Walsh and Bishop, and have not looked like taking wickets, have been bowling. I mean, Bishop to me is Charlie halfway. He's halfway down the pitch all the time.
That's 4. Very well played by Jack Russell. Nicely timed, beautifully placed.
Yes, I mean, if you were Jack Russell, who would you like to face? Curtly Ambrose or Hooper? Nice little steady off spinner. Pick your spot on a very flat pitch. Thank you very much.
Curtly Ambrose making a belated appearance. Well, we haven't seen many get past the bat this morning. This is the right line from Curtly Ambrose. That's actually a beautiful delivery, just enough cut to beat the defensive shot. Edged, and he's got away with it. That ball really flew high and fast.
Well, it bounced a little bit here. It was wide enough to hit, but it just bounced on Graham Hick. Keeper got a glove on it, but couldn't hang on.
Beautifully played. Anything that's slightly short from Carl Hooper and also slightly wide like this is real meat and drink to Graham Hick. And the 100 partnership comes up between Graham Hick and Jack Russell. That's been a very valuable, very good partnership for England.
Money for old rope is Carl Hooper. You only get yourself out. Long on here, coming into our picture. Well, that's what he thinks of Carl Hooper.
And the fielders run in from the boundary to pick up the ball while Hick takes 3 runs.
Well, it's like taking candy from kids, Carl Hooper bowling on this pitch.
.300 up, 301 for 5, 40 now to Russell and 76 to Hick.
I know the West Indies bowlers don't like bowling around the wicket, but that's the sort of line that they're bowling, and Jack Russell does not like it when they come around the wicket like that.
Curtly Ambrose is furious. Furious with himself. Waiting for the tide to turn. That was a good run. It was an easy run. The problem is with Jack Russell is that he threatens to run these short singles so often. It must be a terrible feeling that he's selling the dummy to the batsman at the other end. Is he for real? And Graham Hick said, yes, come on.
He's got some problems now. He's now totally in defense.
The urgency now for these two batsmen to see it through to lunch. The urgency very much for West Indies. Just to snap out of it and pick up a wicket. Well, looked for a moment to me as though he lost it in the background.
Jack Russell expected the ball to bounce a little bit more because that was pulled just about outside off stump to square leg, and under normal circumstances would have been straight in. As easy a catch as you could get at square leg. Not been a very good session for the West Indies.
It's gone through him. It hasn't hit his bat. It's come off his, well, his waistband or trousers or something. That was a hell of a delivery.
This is a good ball. It just takes off a little bit. A lot of pace in this and bunks.
That's the chase for Chandler Paul, just to add a bit of insult to the injury of the drop chance. Two runs made by England this morning. It would be an understatement to say that's beyond their wildest dreams. And that's a good performance from Graham Hick in this series against the West Indies. And got him. Well, Kenny Benjamin has done it. Graham Hick goes 4 short of the 100, just 5 minutes from lunch on the second day. It's the only breakthrough for West Indies this morning. Caught by Stuart Williams off Kenny Benjamin's bowling for 96. And that goes down with me as the best innings I've seen Graham Hick play. It was neatly caught by Stuart Williams. Good ball, it left him. Williams took it just on his right-hand side. Very safely. He's got a good pair of hands, Stuart Williams. Look what concern the new batsman. Jack Russell on 48, 336.46. Been a very good session for England.
I think they've got to change the thinking about Kenny Benjamin. Sometimes he should be bowling with a new ball, or at least first change. He didn't get a bowl till after, what, 25 minutes to lunch.
There's 50 for Jack Russell. The punch of the bat denotes his satisfaction. That's been a very important innings as far as England are concerned in this final test match of the series. Graham Hick happy enough with 96. Disappointed not to have turned it into successive hundreds. Exciting game, Test cricket. I think that just carried. Courtney Brown again diving away in front of the slips.
Well, big disappointment for Kenny Benjamin. I don't think it was so easy for the keeper, but you've got to call it a chance.
Well, it went to hand. It would be very harsh to put it down as a chance. Showing Campbell at short leg. He has some great reflexes. This was not middled. It was what you might call a pretty firm poke. Ian Bishop making his way up the steps. Which means that Keith Arthurton is back on the field, regular substitute. That's a good shot. Found the gap brilliantly. Every time that they pitch on Jack Russell's leg stump like this, it's gone for 4. That's close again to showing Campbell. This time hit more firmly than the previous chance in Kenny Benjamin's previous over. Campbell's still pretty deep at short leg. Brings up the England 350 as they move on to 351.
There's some mental problems out there. Richie Richardson, the West Indian captain. Not many will agree with his approach to the day's play with the early bowl for Carl Hooper. But his fast bowlers certainly have given him every possible effort. Wow, that's a wonderful shot. Wonderful shot.
I think the game was slightly put away from the West Indies by some of the worst captaincy I've seen for a long time. Ambrose did not start this morning and started only after about an hour of really inept bowling by both Bishop and Courtney Walsh.
Well, he kept it down quite brilliantly because he manufactures his own stroke. Now, don't go into the back garden and practice that because you probably scoop it through a neighbor's greenhouse.
I don't think you'll see this shot in anybody's coaching manual, but effective.
When you place very close fielders, there are very big gaps behind them. That's Mickey Stewart. Interesting spectator. That's short and really punished. Cracking shot by Jack Russell. Very unusual piece of bowling from Kenny Benjamin, who really has been the bowler who's kept the ball up to the bat. Witnesses 10 wickets at Trent Bridge. Oh, a little nick, and that's it, and up go the arms of Courtney Walsh. His 300th test wicket has come at last. It seemed an endless wait for him. 300 wickets, an absolute totem pole of an achievement. Applause now, thickening right around the ground. And Mike Watkinson will be in the record books, at least Courtney Walsh's record books, and this is how it happened.
Now, Courtney Walsh is going to remember this for a long time. Just the top edge of the bat there, and Courtney Brown did not have any mistakes. So 2 Courtneys involved, but I think the one that's most important is Courtney Walsh. 300 test wickets at 24.82. Tremendous effort. Certainly achieved something as only 2 West Indians have done so far beside him. That's Lance Gibbs and Malcolm Marshall.
Dominic Cork is the new batsman. And we have a change in bowling. Kenny Benjamin takes a rest. Ian Bishop returns with just 1 slip in this time. And immediately Bishop decides to go around the wicket. Sweet shot. Lovely shift of the weight onto the front foot. Classic. There we go. Ian Bishop considers what might have been had there been a third slip. 11 runs off the over, 383 for 7.
Unusual, but he got away with it, and it barely raced away down to the third man boundary. And up comes the 400.
That's got away nicely. Now, there was a brush on the way through as Dominic Cork went for the run. Curtly Ambrose certainly wasn't moving out of the way. It's worth a comment and worth a stare.
Yes, Curtly wasn't best pleased because technically he's not supposed to get out of the way. It's the batsman that's got to run round the bowler. Dominic Cork is a confident sort of player, running with his head down, just runs into him.
Well, I might just argue that, Geoffrey. Dominic, to me there, looked as though he'd made to try and get round Curtly, who actually handed him off not quite as powerfully as Jonah Lomu, but there was a little bit of aggro in there. Oh, he's bowled in. Curtly Ambrose strikes. And Jack Russell has the top of his off-stump clipped by the West Indies leading bowler. It's the end of a very fine innings indeed by the England wicketkeeper. 221 deliveries it lasted, 292 minutes. Finally succumbing to a good delivery from Curtly Ambrose, right on the stroke of 2.
Well, I know it's a pretty good ball, but I just wonder if there's a little bit of tiredness in this. It just slants across him. You see the bit of movement, but he's been playing those pretty well all day. He's been at the wicket now 4 hours today, about an hour yesterday. Pitch is about leg and middle somewhere, leg stump, hits the top of off stump, so that's a good ball.
Dominic Cork's 19 not out, and he's been joined now by Angus Fraser. Not quite got onto that. Doubt if it actually met the bat. Looked more as though it might have got him on the fingers.
First time I've seen Cork try to hook here. Got onto him, I think, quicker than he expected. Hit the top of the bat and dropped well short of the man at fine leg, but he seems to have a problem with his leg. His running, he seemed to be limping just now.
Evan Malcolm is ready to test four-man pace attack of the West Indies. I don't think that's what England had in mind with Dominic Cork. Maybe calling for a run-up. Well, you never know with body language these days, do you? It's it looks as though he wants a throat spray, but he's limping. There's got to be a connection somewhere, but I dread to think what it is. Well, I reckon Dominic Cork did the damage when he played that hook shot off Ian Bishop. Played it there, came off his hand. The effort of swinging around to play that hook shot, it looks as though he might have damaged a groin muscle. Well, he's waiting on a runner. Well, I quite like that. I think Wells has got a bit of character. As I thought yesterday when he took off his helmet and walked back bareheaded, didn't hide behind the anonymity of a grill and a helmet yesterday after he'd got a first bowler. And now he's taken the chance to get out there again and act as runner. The only scenario we wouldn't really want to see is for him to be run out. It's quick work, but not quite quick enough to get Fraser.
I'm not quite sure how that missed. Just snuck through the gap. It was a perfect Yorker. I suppose nigh on perfect. Had it been perfect, it would have hit the stumps, but snuck through there, just missing leg stump. That's bowled in. That's perfectly directed. Had a practice run early in the over. That's nothing if not a problem for Dominic Thorpe this time. Finally bowled. Thorpe goes for 33. So Curtly Ambrose has his reward for plenty of effort. 5 wickets in the innings.
This has been a superb spell of fast bowling. Not a great amount of luck today, but stuck with it. Now it's 42nd over.
And there's the state of England's first innings. It's a healthy total, 443. 1 more wicket still to fall. Place your bets now. Devon Malcolm facing Curtly Ambrose. Shots. That's the way to play, Dev.
This shot here has brought up the biggest roar of the day.
More runs here, no ball called to start with. Curtly Ambrose doing the right thing, still trying to fire in these Yorkers. A contented captain. Very happy to watch from the comfort of the dressing rooms here. Someone else looks vaguely familiar too, and far more active. Angus Fraser out of the firing line. England on to 450. Well, Kenny Benjamin going round the wicket. Another short leg comes up. That doesn't bode well. Oh, take that. Devon Malcolm, immediately having played that shot, looked at the bat. Almost as though he wasn't sure whether it was he or the bat that was responsible for the shot.
Actually, I think
that's why.
I think there's a piece of the bat that has been taken out with that shot. It must have been hit with tremendous power.
That's skied over cover and caught. So a good catch by Brian Lara to wrap up this England innings. Who knows if that little bit of bat had still been left on. Devon Malcolm might just have cleared Brian Lara there, but an entertaining finish to this England innings.
There was a great performance from England, 233 for 5 at the start of play, and then 454 all out. That's the best innings I've ever seen Graham Hick play, 96. And Jack Russell did a great job also for his 91. The bottom of the order, I thought, did wonderfully well. 13, 33, 10 and 10. to take it up with the extras to 454. And just to underline what a terrific job was done with those later order batsmen, as well as the ones at the start and in the middle. The partnerships there up the top, 51, 89, 43, but then Hick and Russell, which ended today 144, and from there down to the end, 36, 47, 24 and 11. That's a very good looking list of partnerships, and it's reflected in the West Indian bowling figures. Curtly Ambrose, I thought he was outstanding. 42 overs, 10 maidens, 5 for 96. He bowled with intelligence as well as skill. Not always the case with the other bowlers. Courtney Walsh picked up his 300th Test match wicket, 32 overs, 6 maidens and 1 for 84.